What is up, Kaiju Seekers? Welcome to another edition of the Kaijunaut Collector Log. Today, I have a pretty special feature here for you guys, and that is the Gomora Blokees minifigure. Now, these guys, I was surprised to see were available because I had only been following Blokees for a little bit here, and these guys are essentially buildable figures that you get on your own. They come in a assortment of things like you can get different sets, or commonly they are found in blind boxes like this one here. Now, as you can see, it is the Galaxy version Giants of Lights, and here are the assorted Ultraman and other kaiju aliens you can get. Different Ultraman villains, and then we have Gomora here, which is the one I was trying to get because Gomora is my favorite Ultra monster from the series across the board. I love things like Ultra Galaxy, Mega Monster Battle, things like that. Ultraman Omega, my favorite episode is one of the Gomora one, just because it's cool to see him there. But you can also get things like Alien Pulse in it, and there's like a special figure there. But these are all buildable figures that you can collect, build, and display. Here's a little schematic of one that I'll be showing very shortly just to compare. But on the main focus today, because this is my favorite, this here is the Gomora figure. And I will say I am impressed by how they stylized it here and how it functions as a figure. So you can obviously put it on the display stand that they all come with. You can easily pop it off. So they just have the figure there. And again, I'm just impressed by the level of detail they were able to put into it, as well as the paint. You know, it's nothing too extremely complex, but the stylization really helps bring it out. Like you have the small little drips of paint for the waves there. Oops. Small little drips of paint or waves of paint for the horns and the crests. You have the nicely painted eyes. All of the teeth are nicely painted. You have the horns, nails, claws, things like that. All very nice. And across the body, you have all these cool details like the ridges and things like the little elbow claws that are painted in. That's pretty neat, you know, for a stylized figure. And all the details on the belly, which for an artist, I'm sure they'll tell you how painstakingly hard it is to draw in all those details. And they've stylized it here in an interesting way. But, you know, nothing too, like unfaithful or stands out too much. It all blends well nicely in the style of the figure you have here. And to go into articulation, you have swivel at the head, hinge shot at the mouth, you have rotation at the shoulders, elbow bend and swivel, legs go forward and back, tail rotates. So yeah, some good articulation there for such a little figure. I'm always impressed whenever any company is able to do some good articulation there, even though I'm not a big on the articulation guy, you know. Like if this was like a solid figure made of anything else, I would have been just as pleased, you know, if it was pre-posed, because I like those kinds of figures. But having it here is nice, you know. It makes nice to fidget and play with things like that, and you can do some cool poses like that there. And you can easily pop it back onto the display. And so to compare it to other figures in the line, here's another one I've built that was pretty fun as well. Ultraman Gaia, I think it's called. I don't know too many of the Ultra shows. I've only watched a few. But like I said, again, a nice little stylized figure. Not too much detail, but it does stand out when it is there on the chest piece, the head, things like that. And the paint is very nice too on the body. Pretty simple, but very eye-catching. Easy to spot from a display, and they go well together here. So you can have like that classic Ultra versus Gomora match. That is very nice. Like I said, I love any episode with Gomora where he fights an Ultraman or any other kaiju. And so they're just very interesting to see. I might collect a few more if I ever feel like I need any or I want to complete the set. I would definitely recommend picking them up wherever they appear. I found them in places like Entertainment Hobby Jungle, maybe some other locations, anywhere that big on selling blind box figures and Blokees, things like that, where you can look and probably pick these guys up. Like I said, there's also other things like the Jurassic Park line that they just came out with a little bit ago that I was impressed by and have been wanting to track down. But this one here I am super impressed with. And they also come with little things like the structured booklets that I'll show off here. That's like a little mini poster, and this is the one for the Ultraman there. Actually, no, all across the board, because they show off how you put on all the pieces, where they are essentially the same. More there, you can see. And it's a pretty cool poster of all of them there, so definitely recommend picking it up. But anyways, Kaiju Seekers, let me know what you guys thought down below. Have you picked this guy up in your collection? Have you completed the set? Did you pick it up recently, or did you buy them when they first launched? Let me know down below again. Thank you guys for stopping by. Until next time, Kaiju Seekers, over and out.